is time for some real education. Welcome, team, to our final day tribute to the great, the Netherlandish painter Jan van Eyck. We've made it. Today on Instant Classic, we consider the Lamb of God panel from the Ghent Altarpiece.
And take a look before we go to this, Mike. Go back to that previous screen where you see an image of Van Eyck in that red turban. You got to be a really, really, really good painter to pull off that red turban. And I'll be darned, he does it. The Ghent Altarpiece by Jan van Eyck is a masterpiece, and this is one of my favorite parts of it. At the very center of the altarpiece is this Lamb of God image. And so you have the Lamb of God, and we'll get a close-up on it in a moment. In fact, go to the close-up. Right there you have the Lamb of God on the altar, surrounded by the angels, with the cross of Christ facing it. And this is beautiful. This is the altar. This is the creation of the sacrament of the Eucharist in Roman Catholic circles, right? You have, remember it was in the Gospel of John, when John the Baptist sees Jesus coming to be baptized, he stops, he points to Jesus and says, that is the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. That is the sacrificial animal who will be offered up, the innocent, the unsullied, the pure, the sinless victim that will be offered up on an altar for the sake of all of us sinners from all time in history to come and from all time before. This alone is going to be able to allow us to conquer death, to be reunited with God after death. And so the strongest figure who ever walked this earth is the creator of this universe. If the Son of God entered the world in human flesh and blood to become a sacrifice on an altar, then that means that Christ, as he walked this earth, was the strongest, most powerful creature to ever set foot on it. And yet, how does he choose to be? The King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, Christ himself, literally becomes a sheep. Not a wolf, not a predator, not an alpha, not a king, not an emperor, not a conqueror, not a general. He becomes a sacrifice. And there is the Lamb of God, and you can see that his breast has been pierced and that he is bleeding into a chalice. And here you have the symbolism for the body and blood of Christ that he promulgated at the Last Supper, and that is the hallmark of the Eucharist in Roman Catholic theology. Now, if you step back from this altar, you will see the Lamb of God at the center. You will see the angels around him. Then you will see on the back left and the back right major figures from the priest on the left-hand side, male, on the right-hand side, female, and then in the foreground, you see, among other things, monks and beggars, the poor, those who were the primary ministry group that Christ came to save, the weak, the suffering, and the forgotten. And it's just a gorgeous landscape. You see the beauty of the trees. This is clearly the New Jerusalem. This is clearly an adoration that is taking place once Christ has come again as King, the Lamb of God who sheds his blood. This is the holy angels, the saints, the martyrs, the blessed poor are all here to participate, not figuratively, not metaphorically, but literally. We got an email from somebody who said this week, be careful of overusing the word literal, Katie, Duke, and Duke. Okay, fine. But this is a literal instance. I think we could use the word very, very accurately.